Hello everyone, Dr. Mandell here. Welcome back to my channel, Science of Healing. If you're struggling with muscle weakness, slow recovery, or you feel sore longer than you used to, especially as you get older, this message is for you. Today, I want to talk about a natural food that supports muscle repair, strength, and recovery without powders, shakes, or artificial supplements. And that food is almonds. Now, I know what you're thinking. Almonds? Really? Your muscles don't fail overnight. They fade quietly, year after year, while no one is warning you. By the time most people notice weakness, fatigue, or slower recovery, the damage has already been building for decades. Science shows that after the age of 30, the human body begins losing muscle mass at a rate of up to 1% per year, and after 60, that loss can accelerate to 3% annually, a process known as sarcopenia. This isn't just about looking thinner or weaker. Muscle is the engine that controls blood sugar, balance, metabolism, hormone signaling, and even brain health. When muscle declines, everything else follows. Inside your body, muscle repair depends on a finely tuned system called muscle protein synthesis. This is how your body detects microscopic muscle damage from daily movement and rebuilds it stronger during rest, especially during deep sleep. But with age, this system becomes resistant. Scientists call this anabolic resistance. Even when older adults eat the same amount of protein as younger people, their muscles respond far less effectively. The signal to rebuild is weaker. The repair process slows. The muscle fibers shrink instead of growing back. One major reason is declining cellular energy. Muscle repair is an energy-hungry process. It requires ATP, the fuel molecule produced inside your mitochondria. As you age, mitochondrial function drops dramatically. Studies show that older muscle cells can produce up to 40% less energy than younger ones. When energy production falls, repair is postponed, incomplete, or skipped entirely. The muscle doesn't rebuild, it adapts to weakness. Another silent factor is chronic inflammation. Aging bodies exist in a constant low-grade inflammatory state known as inflammaging. Even without injury or illness, inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein and interleukin-6 remain elevated. This constant internal stress interferes directly with muscle regeneration. Inflammation blocks anabolic signaling pathways and activates muscle breakdown genes. In simple terms, your body is receiving mixed messages. Rebuild and destroy at the same time. Destruction wins. Then there's the mineral collapse no one talks about. Magnesium, zinc, and potassium are critical for muscle contraction, relaxation, nerve signaling, and protein synthesis. Research shows that more than half of adults over 50 are deficient in magnesium, and deficiency is strongly linked to muscle cramps, weakness, fatigue, and impaired recovery. Without these minerals, muscles cannot relax properly, blood flow is reduced, and repair enzymes simply don't work. Blood flow itself becomes another limiting factor. As arteries stiffen and nitric oxide production declines with age, less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach muscle tissue. Even if you eat enough protein, amino acids cannot effectively reach damaged muscle fibers. This is like trying to rebuild a house without delivering bricks to the site. The materials exist, but access is blocked. Sleep, the most critical repair window, also deteriorates. Deep sleep is when growth hormone is released, triggering tissue repair and muscle regeneration. Yet studies show that deep sleep duration declines sharply with age. Many adults over 50 spend less than half the time in restorative sleep compared to younger individuals. Without deep sleep, muscles are denied their primary recovery signal. Night after night, repair is skipped. Insulin resistance adds another layer of damage. Muscle tissue is the largest glucose disposal system in the body. When muscles weaken, insulin sensitivity drops, leading to higher blood sugar levels. High glucose accelerates muscle protein breakdown and increases oxidative stress. This creates a vicious cycle. Weaker muscles worsen blood sugar control, and poor blood sugar control further damages muscle. Perhaps the most shocking truth is that inactivity is not required for muscle loss. Studies show that even physically active older adults can experience muscle decline if recovery mechanisms are impaired. Walking alone is often not enough. Without proper nutrient signaling, blood flow, mineral balance, and sleep quality, muscles are breaking down faster than they rebuild, even with movement. This is why people wake up feeling stiff, sore, and weaker despite doing everything right. They're eating protein, they're staying active, but the internal environment needed for muscle repair has changed. And here's the part no one warns you about. Muscle loss doesn't just reduce strength, it increases the risk of falls, fractures, hospitalization, loss of independence, and early mortality. Research published in medical journals shows that low muscle mass is a stronger predictor of early death than obesity. Weak muscles mean poor balance. Poor balance leads to falls. Falls are one of the leading causes of disability and death in older adults worldwide, but muscle loss is not inevitable. The body still wants to repair. The signals are just weaker and need support. When the right nutrients restore mineral balance, when inflammation is reduced, when blood flow improves, and when nighttime repair signals are strengthened, muscle cells can respond again. Even in people over 70, studies show that muscle protein synthesis can be reactivated with the right biological environment. Your muscles are not broken, they are under-supported. The tragedy is that most people never realize this until weakness becomes their new normal. They blame age, they accept fatigue, they assume pain is unavoidable, but science tells a different story. Muscle decline is not a sentence, it's a signal. And once you understand why muscles stop repairing themselves, you can finally take steps that work with your biology instead of fighting it. Because the moment you restore your body's ability to repair muscle, strength doesn't just return. Independence returns, energy returns, and aging begins to slow in ways most people never experience. What if the most powerful muscle repair signal isn't found in a laboratory, a supplement store, or a protein tub, but inside a simple food humans have eaten for thousands of years, quietly strengthening bodies while modern science looked the other way? Deep inside your muscles, repair does not begin with protein. That's the myth. Repair begins with signaling. If the signal is weak, protein is wasted. And one of the strongest natural signaling foods for muscle recovery is a nut most people underestimate and casually snack on without realizing what it's actually doing inside their cells. When you eat almonds, the first thing that happens is not digestion, it's communication. Within minutes, minerals and amino acids enter the bloodstream and begin activating pathways responsible for energy production, blood flow, inflammation control, and cellular repair. This is not theory. Studies published in nutrition and physiology journals show that almonds directly influence magnesium status, nitric oxide production, antioxidant defense, and insulin sensitivity, all of which are essential for muscle rebuilding. Magnesium is the cornerstone. Over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body depend on it, and muscle repair is one of the most magnesium-dependent processes of all. Every single muscle contraction uses magnesium, and every single muscle relaxation requires it even more. Without adequate magnesium, muscles remain tight, fatigued, inflamed, and unable to fully recover. Research shows that magnesium deficiency impairs ATP synthesis, meaning muscles literally run out of energy to repair themselves. What makes this shocking is how widespread the deficiency is. Large population studies reveal that more than 60% of adults fail to meet the minimum magnesium requirement, and deficiency rates climb sharply after age 50. This is not a small shortfall. Blood magnesium levels in deficient individuals are often low enough to directly impair muscle protein synthesis. The muscles want to repair, but the energy system is offline. Almonds are one of the most magnesium-dense foods on the planet. A single handful delivers a dose that directly supports mitochondrial function, restoring the energy needed for nighttime muscle rebuilding. When magnesium levels rise, ATP production increases, muscle fibers relax properly, and repair enzymes finally function the way they were designed to. But magnesium is only the beginning. Almonds contain arginine, an amino acid that plays a critical role in nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide is the molecule that tells blood vessels to relax and open. With age, nitric oxide production drops dramatically. Arteries stiffen, blood flow decreases, muscles receive less oxygen, fewer nutrients, and less protein, even if your diet is perfect. This is why older muscles starve in the middle of abundance. Research shows that arginine supplementation increases nitric oxide levels, improves circulation, and enhances nutrient delivery to skeletal muscle. Almonds provide arginine in a natural food-based form that works gradually and consistently, especially when consumed daily. Improved blood flow means damaged muscle fibers finally receive the raw materials needed to rebuild, not just during exercise, but during rest and sleep when repair actually happens. Then there's oxidative stress, the invisible muscle killer. Every movement you make produces free radicals inside muscle tissue. In small amounts, this is normal. In excess, it becomes destructive. Aging muscles accumulate oxidative damage faster than they can repair it. This damage interferes with muscle protein synthesis and activates breakdown pathways. Inflammatory markers rise. Recovery slows. Weakness sets in. Almonds are one of the richest natural sources of vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant that embeds itself directly into muscle cell membranes. Vitamin E protects muscle fibers from oxidative damage during and after activity. Clinical studies show that higher vitamin E intake is associated with improved muscle strength, reduced soreness, and faster recovery, especially in older adults. Without enough vitamin E, muscle repair becomes a losing battle against constant oxidative assault. And here's the part most people never hear. Muscle repair doesn't happen evenly throughout the day. It peaks at night. During deep sleep, growth hormone is released, inflammation is suppressed, and muscle protein synthesis reaches its highest rate. But this process requires stable blood sugar, adequate minerals, and sustained amino acid availability. Almonds uniquely support all three. The combination of plant protein, healthy fats, and fiber slows digestion, providing a steady release of amino acids into the bloodstream throughout the night. This prevents the overnight muscle breakdown that occurs when blood amino acid levels drop too low. Research shows that slow digesting protein sources consumed in the evening enhance overnight muscle protein synthesis far more effectively than fast digesting isolates. At the same time, the healthy monounsaturated fats in almonds improve insulin sensitivity. This matters because insulin is not just a blood sugar hormone, it's a muscle-building signal. When insulin sensitivity improves, muscle cells respond more effectively to nutrients. Protein is used for repair instead of being burned or stored as fat. Studies consistently show that improved insulin sensitivity enhances muscle preservation and reduces age-related muscle loss. Another overlooked factor is inflammation control. Chronic low-grade inflammation sabotages muscle repair by activating catabolic pathways that break down muscle tissue. Almonds contain polyphenols and healthy fats shown to reduce inflammatory markers such as C-reactive protein and TNF-alpha. Lower inflammation shifts the body from breakdown mode into repair mode. This isn't about eliminating inflammation completely. It's about restoring balance so rebuilding can finally occur. What makes this even more powerful is consistency. Muscle repair does not respond to extremes. It responds to daily signals. Studies show that regular almond consumption improves nutrient status, lipid profiles, insulin sensitivity, and inflammatory balance within weeks. Over time, these changes compound. Blood flow improves, energy production stabilizes, repair signals strengthen, muscle fibers stop shrinking and start responding again. And perhaps the most profound discovery is this. Almonds don't just support muscles directly, they support the systems that protect muscles. Improved blood sugar control reduces glycation damage to muscle proteins. Better circulation lowers fall risk. Stronger muscles improve balance. Better balance prevents injuries. Injury prevention preserves independence. Independence extends lifespan. Research has shown that low muscle strength is a stronger predictor of early mortality than high cholesterol or obesity. Muscle is not cosmetic, it is survival tissue, and foods that protect muscle protect life. The tragedy is that most people chase muscle repair with powders that isolate protein but ignore the biological environment required for that protein to work. Without magnesium, blood flow, antioxidants, insulin sensitivity, and inflammation control, protein becomes noise instead of a signal. Almonds change the environment. They restore the conditions under which your body remembers how to rebuild itself. And when that environment is restored, something remarkable happens. Muscles respond again, recovery accelerates, strength returns, not overnight, not magically, but steadily, predictably, and naturally, in a way that aligns with human biology. Your muscles have not forgotten how to heal. They've been waiting for the right message. And sometimes that message comes from the simplest foods we've been overlooking all along. Most people never fail to build muscle because they choose the wrong food. They fail because they use the right food at the wrong time in the wrong way and without understanding how the body actually repairs itself. Muscle rebuilding is not a daytime event. It is a nighttime operation. Science shows that the majority of muscle protein synthesis happens while you sleep, during deep, slow-wave sleep, when growth hormone peaks and inflammation drops. This is when your body quietly repairs microscopic muscle damage accumulated throughout the day. If the raw materials are missing during this window, repair simply doesn't happen. The muscle waits, then it weakens. This is why timing matters more than quantity. Research from sleep and metabolism studies reveals that overnight fasting can increase muscle protein breakdown, especially in adults over 50. Blood amino acid levels drop during the night, triggering the body to pull amino acids from muscle tissue itself. This is silent muscle loss. You don't feel it happening. You only notice it months later as weakness, stiffness, or poor balance. This is where almonds become strategic. When consumed in the evening, almonds act as a slow-release repair signal. Their unique combination of plant protein, magnesium, healthy fats, and fiber delays digestion and stabilizes blood amino acid levels for hours. This sustained availability feeds muscle cells during the exact window when repair enzymes are most active. Studies comparing fast-digesting protein sources to slow-digesting ones show a dramatic difference. Fast proteins spike amino acids quickly, then crash. Slow-digesting sources maintain steady levels overnight, resulting in significantly higher muscle protein synthesis by morning. Almonds naturally behave like a slow-release nutrient system without stressing digestion or insulin. But timing alone isn't enough. Absorption matters. One of the biggest obstacles to nutrient absorption in adults is digestive inefficiency. As stomach acid declines with age, minerals and proteins are absorbed less effectively. This is why simply eating healthy doesn't always translate to stronger muscles. The nutrients never fully make it into the bloodstream. Soaking almonds overnight changes everything. When almonds are soaked, their enzyme inhibitors decrease and mineral bioavailability increases. Magnesium, zinc, and calcium become easier to absorb. Studies show that soaking nuts can significantly improve mineral uptake and reduce digestive stress. For older adults, this can be the difference between nutrients passing through the body unused and nutrients entering muscle cells where they're needed. Removing the almond skin after soaking further reduces tannins that interfere with mineral absorption. This small preparation step dramatically increases the muscle-supporting power of the food. Now consider blood sugar. Unstable blood sugar at night is one of the most underestimated causes of muscle loss. Nighttime glucose spikes increase cortisol, a hormone that actively breaks down muscle tissue. Research shows that even mild nocturnal blood sugar fluctuations increase muscle protein breakdown and suppress growth hormone release. Almonds stabilize this process. Their fiber and fats slow glucose absorption, preventing spikes and crashes. Stable blood sugar allows growth hormone to rise uninterrupted, creating an internal environment where repair can occur. This is not about calories. It's about hormonal permission for muscles to heal. Another overlooked factor is nerve-muscle communication. Muscle strength is not just muscle size, it's the ability of nerves to fire muscle fibers efficiently. Magnesium and healthy fats in almonds support nerve conduction and neuromuscular signaling. Studies link magnesium adequacy with improved muscle coordination, reduced tremors, and better balance. This is why people who correct magnesium deficiency often report feeling steadier before they feel stronger. And steadiness saves lives. Falls are one of the leading causes of injury and death in older adults. Research consistently shows that reduced muscle strength and poor neuromuscular coordination dramatically increase fall risk. By supporting muscle repair and nerve signaling simultaneously, almonds indirectly protect independence. Consistency is where the real transformation happens. Muscle repair does not respond to occasional effort. It responds to repeated signals. Eating almonds once does nothing. Eating them daily sends a message the body can finally trust. Over weeks, magnesium stores replenish. Inflammation markers drop. Insulin sensitivity improves. Blood flow increases. These changes are measurable in clinical studies and visible in real life as improved recovery, less soreness, and more energy. One of the most shocking findings in nutrition research is that small daily habits outperform extreme interventions. A modest, consistent intake of nutrient-dense foods produces better long-term muscle preservation than high-dose supplements used inconsistently. The body prefers rhythm over shock, and almonds fit perfectly into that rhythm. They don't overwhelm the system, they support it quietly. They reinforce repair instead of forcing growth. This is why they work even for people who believe their age has permanently weakened them. Studies show that muscle protein synthesis can improve in adults well into their 70s when nutrient timing, mineral status, and inflammation are addressed. The body does not lose its ability to rebuild. It loses the signals that tell it to. Almonds restore those signals, not by magic, by biology. They support the energy required for repair. They improve the delivery of nutrients. They protect muscle fibers from damage. They stabilize the hormones that decide whether muscle is rebuilt or broken down. And perhaps the most important truth of all is this: muscle loss is not a sudden collapse. It's a quiet neglect. And muscle recovery is not dramatic. It's a quiet return. When you give your body what it needs at the moment it needs it most, repair becomes inevitable. Night after night, cell by cell, strength begins to come back, not because you fought aging, but because you finally worked with it.